The US just banned Palestinians from receiving visas. The Trump administration has suspended approval for nearly all types of visitor visas for anyone holding a Palestinian passport. That prevents Palestinians from receiving temporary visas for anything, including university studies, medical treatment, visiting friends and family, business travel, and that is for any Palestinian holding a passport issued by the Palestinian Liberation Organization. That includes Palestinians in Gaza, in the West Bank, Palestinians in diaspora. Every single one of these groups are people disenfranchised by Israel and by the United States' material support of Israel. People who were displaced and stateless, and we are treating them like criminals. We're treating them like terrorists. And this all comes after the US's decision to stop issuing visas for Palestinian children fleeing Gaza for medical care. You know, children who were coming to the US through organizations like Heal Palestine because their limbs were blown off or because they needed emergency surgery that they could only get in the US. We've decided to no longer issue them visas or give them medical care after we funded their bombing and displacement. And additionally, just this week, we decided to bar any visa approval for any member of the Palestinian delegation that was set to come to the US for the UN meeting in New York next month. I mean, how are we going to have the UN General Assembly meet in the US to discuss Palestinian statehood and then not invite any Palestinians to attend? The entire Palestinian government was barred from attending this crucial meeting. And now we've suspended travel to the US for literally any Palestinian holding a Palestinian passport. These new restrictions are racist, they're xenophobic, they're Islamophobic, they are point-blank bigoted and in support of a genocidal regime.
Oh, hell no.
We have some news this morning. Donald Trump and the Trump administration have suspended new visa approvals for nearly everyone who holds a Palestinian passport. New reporting, according to the New York Times, these restrictions are significant and go beyond what the Trump administration previously announced as it relates to individuals coming from Gaza. This applies to everyone or nearly everyone who has a Palestinian passport. These restrictions would prevent Palestinians, whether living in Gaza or in the West Bank, from coming to the United States for medical treatment, to attend college, business travel, and more, and comes also as the Trump administration has denied visas to even Mahmoud Abbas, the Palestinian Authority's president, along with other Palestinian officials ahead of the United Nations General Assembly, which is scheduled to occur in New York City later this month at the end of September. Now, here's the thing. As part of an agreement to host the United Nations in New York, the United States is not supposed to refuse visas for officials heading to the General Assembly, but the State Department still claims it is complying. Spread the word so more people know. I'll do a full breakdown of this and more on my Substack, linked in bio. Subscribe for free. Follow along for more.
Donald Trump just banned nearly everyone with a Palestinian passport from getting a U.S. visa. Yep, medical treatment, school, business trips, all denied. According to the New York Times, this isn't just about Gaza anymore. It applies to almost everyone holding a Palestinian passport, including people in the West Bank. That means that if you're a student accepted into a U.S. college, then you're going to be shit out of luck. And if you're sick and you need treatment in a United States hospital, well, they're saying it's not happening. Also, if you're a parent trying to see a family member or anything like that, they're damn near closing the door in your face. So even Mahmoud Abbas, the Palestinian Authority president, he just got denied for a visa for the UN General Assembly. And by law, the United States is not even supposed to deny UN officials entry.
Okay.
But Donald Trump, per usual, he's flexing power anyway. Y'all, he's just doing whatever the fuck he want to do. And think about it. If they can do this on the world stage, imagine what they'll keep doing here in the United States. Your home, stripping protections, cutting funding, blocking access, making up the rules as they go along. If entire groups of people can be silenced or excluded with the stroke of a pen, don't think that they won't flex the same muscle on your healthcare, your job, and your rights. Now I'm gonna give you guys the tea because you know I'm always giving y'all the tea, okay? Waiting on politicians to protect you is a whole ass scam. They're busy playing Empire while you're trying to survive out here in these streets. And this is exactly why I created the What to Post When You Need Sales by Friday ebook bundle. It's not to make you a millionaire, but it's to make sure that your bills, your gas, your groceries, they don't depend on whoever's in office and whatever that person decides to do. Let me tell you something. This is not about red, white, blue, pink, purple, yellow, orange, garbage can, okay? This is about control, all right? And the only way out is to build your own foundation.
This is about control. Nobody with Palestinian passport allowed to enter to the United States. Why? My name is Lee. In today's video, we are going to talk about how USA banned anyone from Palestine to enter to USA, including diplomat passport. Can you imagine? We got a more video like this. I will come back with a comment.
Guys, the US Trump administration has just denied the Palestinian delegation to the UN General Assembly. Their visas were denied because they were about to travel to recognize Palestine as a state, and Trump and his other goonies, the Trump's administration, who are the backside lickers of Netanyahu, has just denied the Palestinian Authority delegation their visas to travel to New York to the UN General Assembly for September. Has been announced today. And I did say in my earlier videos that there will be some changes and they're going to deny the Palestinian state, and they just done that. Mark my word, and I did say that this will happen, and it has happened.
Oh yeah.
And now Marco Rubio and Donkey Trump and his other goonies has just denied their visas, and the Palestinian Authority delegation can't go to New York to this UN General Assembly. So I think the assembly members should resign from it and open their own assembly somewhere in Russia or Africa or Asia. That's the best way to do it. Isolate the American and the Zionist regime by moving to a different country and open your own assembly. So that's the best way to isolate the American and the Israeli, both two regime, completely from the assembly. If you have a spine on your back to the assemblies that I'm talking to, the countries who are the members of the UN, it is time for you to walk away and open your own assembly with Mr. Putin in Russia or somewhere in Africa or somewhere in Asia, and isolate these two countries forever.
That's it true?
It is not lost to anyone who follows the United Nations that the U.S. is barring the Palestinian delegation from attending the UN General Assembly precisely during a session that will have as its centerpiece the situation in Palestine, the genocide in Gaza, the recognition of Palestinian statehood, as you've said, by a number of new additional delegations, a conference on the two-state solution, and very importantly, in advance of extraordinary action that's expected in the UN General Assembly, when the UN's one-year deadline for Israeli compliance with the demands of the International Court of Justice and the UN General Assembly expires in September, and at which point the UN General Assembly is expected to adopt further measures to hold the Israeli regime accountable. I have to say that this trend of the denial of visas for Palestinians is just the latest step in what has been an expanding U.S. government trend of effectively importing the racist ideology of the Israeli regime.
It's really crazy how you deny a visa of someone who's supposed to be in that meeting. You are going to decide about their state, and you need to decide for someone who are not there. This is not about security. It's not about terrorism. It's about controlling. If you feel like you don't need those people to your country, why UN cannot change the press so they might change to different area where they accept those people who come? It's democracy. Let's Israel come. Let's Palestine come.
Palestinian Authority passport holders will now be refused U.S. visas. Secretary of State Marco Rubio ordered all U.S. embassies to refuse visas to Palestinians holding PA passports effective immediately as a means to heighten national security measures. The twist? Palestinians can apply for visas using other passports.
In the latest attack on Palestinians from this Trump administration, this administration has told diplomats to refuse most visas for Palestinian passport holders. Now, you may recall, in mid-August, they suspended the visas from Palestinians from Gaza pending review. Last week, they denied and revoked visas for members of the PLO and the Palestinian Authority. And now this. The Trump administration just told its U.S. diplomats to deny most visas for Palestinians who have a Palestinian Authority passport. And it's for everyone, whether they live in Gaza, the West Bank, or anywhere else. So that means students, professors, tourists, business people, and people who need medical care are being blocked.
Oh, hell no.
And it's no coincidence that this is happening as more countries are planning on recognizing Palestine as a state. So whatever excuse this administration provides for these measures, what this is really about is the silencing of Palestinian identity and sovereignty. But they will not succeed.
If you don't want to vote for Jill, vote for Donald Trump. But do not give a vote to Kamala Harris and expect to be welcomed by my community.
Palestine is central for some voters to decide how to cast their vote in the polling booth. But with war raging in the Middle East, can Kamala Harris convince some of them to back her campaign?
Do either of the candidates have a voice that you can ally yourself with?
And none of the major candidates, absolutely not. They're both the same.
She says words such as self-determination, and too many Palestinian lives have been lost, as if there is a number that's acceptable. And I don't understand how my people's lives are lost, as if they can't be found, instead of them being deliberately targeted by the very weapons that she continues to fund and to send.
There isn't much of a difference between him and Kamala Harris. But I do know one thing. If Donald Trump was president while the genocide was going on, you'd have a lot more Democrats with a backbone willing to call Donald Trump a war criminal for allowing it to happen.
You see the last video. This is what the people, most of American Arab, what they thought about between Kamala and Trump. Most of them thought Trump, when he got power, is going to change everything. But see, it's the one who's banning their people from getting visa into USA. He doesn't care if you need treatment to USA because, in Palestine, there's, Gaza war is going on. People might need, serious treatment, which you cannot find around. But when they need to go to USA, no. Keep them out. Let's die from where they're supposed to be. This is how Trump think. So I hope you like today's video. Share your comments. See you on another one.